Wednesday's video.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our second exclusive segment from the greatest podcast on turf. I'm Ryan.
I'm Anthony, wearing my Tate Martell jersey, as you guys can see.
No,
we don't.
For this episode, as you guys know, if you don't know, the NFL's been doing their top 100 players of football. And they came out with their, top 10 list, but they're not in order yet. So we're going to be giving our feelings on the players who are in the top 10. And we are also going to be ranking the players that are available for us to rank in the top 10.
Absolutely. If you guys haven't already seen it, be sure to check out yesterday's YouTube video, our final fantasy football mock draft. Be sure to check out yesterday's podcast. Went through the NFC South, Titans, Texans, Jaguars, and Colts. Predicted their schedules, wins, losses, key matchups we're excited to see. Be sure to check out tomorrow's podcast as well. Be ready for that. We did the final division season preview, the NFC South, Bucs, Saints, Panthers, and Falcons. All that stuff, be sure to check that out. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Check out our sponsor, Little Italy, brand new websites linked in the description below. Let us record here every day we want, anytime we want to. Best food around. You guys got to come check it out. As I said on yesterday's video, we're the best. I'm the best. My dad's the best. It's lit. But yeah, with that being said, we each came up with our own 1 through 10 rankings, gave a consensus.
Before we get into any of that, I want to explain that I would like Jalen Ramsey in the top 10. Please move Travis Kelce out of the top 10.
Yep.
I don't think he belongs there. He's a great tight end. He's the best tight end in football, but you don't have a corner here. And Jalen Ramsey's by far the best corner in all of football. So NFL, I would like you to put that up there.
He was number 12. I wonder who 11 was.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but whoever that was sucks. Travis Etienne. All right, so the NFL, there's no order yet. So
we're going to be giving you the correct order
of how it should be. Number 1, the greatest quarterback of all time, the greatest NFL player, quarterback ever stepped foot on the field, my favorite player ever, my love, Tom Brady.
I don't really think there's much to say here. Until he gets beaten, he is going to be the best. And all these guys on the list have lost to Tom Brady. So, with
every
that being
single
said,
one. There's not a guy on this list that Tom Brady hasn't beat.
And Tom Brady is by far the best quarterback of all time. No argument here from the greatest podcast on turf.
Nope.
If anybody has that argument, let us know.
Let me know, because
let him know. I'm supportive of Tom Brady, but I'm not going to, go to
in seventh grade. Swear to God, when there was still kind of an argument from people, I wrote an essay on why Tom Brady was better than Joe Montana and Peyton Manning. I swear to God.
Nice.
It was like for English class, so I had to write an argumentative. I swear to God, I wrote an essay on why Tom Brady was better than Joe Montana and Peyton Manning.
Nice. With that being said, going to go to the number 2. The former MVP of the National Football League. It is Aaron Rodgers, the man himself, the man who lost to Tom Brady, the man who...
Tom Brady's son, Aaron Rodgers.
With that being said,
Tom Brady's little baby.
Aaron Rodgers, he's great. He's good for what he is. I think if the team was a lot better...
See you, Dad. Love you.
If the team was a lot better, then Aaron Rodgers would, end up in a Super Bowl. He never had a number 2 option. I've been saying this for a long time. Aaron Rodgers needs a solid number 2 option, because who else is he going to throw the ball to? St. Brown or MVS?
Not even the good St. Brown.
Yeah, you have to give him a number 2 option. Every team needs a number 2 option in order to be good. We've seen it. Besides the Patriots, but they had the greatest of all time. So,
yeah.
That's kind of where it stands.
Me personally, I had Aaron Rodgers ranked at 4. There was 2 guys I had ranked ahead of him, but we had to come to a consensus agreement. I can see why. Aaron Rodgers, he was MVP. Aaron Rodgers has been good his whole career, and last year was the greatest season of his career. He killed it. And I know this is based off last year, but I took into a factor going into this year as well. Aaron Rodgers is going to be on a revenge tour. The Last Dance vibes with Michael Jordan right before he left. Not saying Aaron Rodgers is the second greatest of all time or anything, but
he's not the greatest of all time for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I had him at 4. So you kind of pretty much covered all on Aaron Rodgers. So I'll move on to the guy who I had ranked number 2 and the number 3 guy on the greatest podcast on turf's top 10 NFL players, Patty Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, his play explains it kind of speaks for itself, really. Mahomes, he came in the league, sat behind Alex Smith, and when he was named the starter, he kind of just hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is this? This is going to be his 4th year starting, and he's been to 2 Super Bowls, an AFC Championship, and he has a Super Bowl ring, and he's won MVP. His play speaks for itself. He's got Andy Reid. They have a good connection. He's got Kelce, the best tight end, and Tyreek Hill, a top 5 wide receiver in the league. He's got a
revamped offensive line.
An entirely revamped offensive line. I always forget about them now in the top offensive line in the league conversation, but they're definitely up there. But, yeah, Mahomes' play speaks for itself. I had him ranked at number 2 on this list for a reason. We had to come to a conclusion with number 3, which is fair. I can see the argument, but I personally would have him above Aaron Rodgers. But
I have Patty Mahomes at number 4.
So I say we move on to number 4, eh?
Our number 4, it's Aaron Donald. I had him at number 3.
I had him at 3 as well.
But, how it happens.
Number 3.
Aaron Donald, he kind of plays speech for himself. He's the best defensive lineman in all of football. He's a headache for every single team. He's always double teamed. He's always causing problems. He is definitely a guy that you have to game script for. It kind of, I kind of wanted to put TJ Watt over him. There's a slight part of me that wanted to do it. But Aaron Donald just makes such a big impact on the field. And it's hard not to put him in the top 5, defensive players, especially this year. Absolutely. And he's one of the greatest of all time. So.
Aaron Donald is the greatest defensive player that we have ever seen. I mean, because we didn't get to see Lawrence Taylor play, so or Reggie White or Dion. But I mean, he's the greatest defensive player we've ever seen, and probably a lot of you guys have ever seen as well.
So count Revis Island.
Yeah, sure. Even Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis was ridiculous. But I mean, Aaron Donald, he was our unanimous. We both had him at number 3, but he had to go to 4 because where we had Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes ranked. Aaron Donald's been the best defensive player in the league for a while. And then the guy who's next on our list is right behind him, TJ Watt. I think he's the 3rd best.
Should have been defensive player of the year this year.
Should have been defensive player of the year. I will give him that. 3rd best defensive player in the league behind AD and Jalen Ramsey. But TJ Watt, another guy who just causes so many problems for opposing offensive lines. He's getting better. He's getting better in coverage every year he plays. He's good for double-digit sacks every year. He's by far the best defensive player on the Steelers, and that
he's about to get paid.
He's going to reset the entire market for defensive players. He's probably going to get at least $20 million a year.
I remember when the Cowboys took Taco Charlton over TJ Watt.
Look how that turned out. He just got cut today by slide, Trevor. Jesus Christmas. Can't be taking hits like that, dog. Taco just got cut today by the Chiefs.
As he should, because he sucks.
That's about how that went. But yeah, TJ Watt, I mean, his play speaks for itself, honestly. If you watch him play, you know that TJ Watt, why he's a top 4, top 5 player in the NFL, top 3 defensive player in the NFL. He's just one of those guys where offenses have to run away from him, throw away from him, and try and double team him at all costs, like Aaron Donald, but he's rushing off the edge. So, I mean, that just makes it that much worse.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and jump to the next guy. This guy was actually my number 9 guy.
He was my number 6 guy.
It's DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not loving this pick here. DeAndre Hopkins is a stud. He has probably the best hands in all of NFL football. He's a stud. I'll give him that. I'll give him full props. The season last year wasn't the greatest that we've seen from him. Granted, he didn't have a full off season with a new team, so I give him full.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, obviously, and he was still a stud. I personally would have went Devonta Adams. I think he's the best receiver in football, without a doubt. Your take on Julio is unbelievable. Anyways, Devonta Adams, it would have been him, but going to go with DeAndre Hopkins, with my boy Kyler. You know how we do it.
DeAndre Hopkins, in my opinion, he's the 2nd best receiver in the NFL. I love him.
5th, 4th.
He's an amazing route runner, best hands in football. I think him and the Cardinals are going to be lethal this year. I've been high on DeAndre Hopkins for a very long time. And he's another guy whose play speaks for itself. These guys on this list are very good.
They're the top 10 for a reason, so. Jalen Ramsey should be here, but it's...
Jalen Ramsey should be here, indeed. I will agree with you on that one for once. But number 7. My number 7 guy.
My number 8 guy.
Josh Allen, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. Now, here's a guy in Josh Allen who has taken a massive leap each year he's been in the NFL. Came in his rookie year, he was lackluster, wasn't anything special. Second year, improved a lot. Then his third year last year, any other year he's the MVP. If Aaron Rodgers don't have the greatest season he's ever had. Last year, Josh Allen, runner up for MVP for a reason. He killed it. He has Stephon Diggs who killed it with him. They seem to develop great chemistry together. Josh Allen is he's a quarterback as well who can do it on the ground as well. He's one of the better mobile quarterbacks in the NFL who has an absolute cannon and can throw the ball 60, 70 yards downfield. He's a playmaker. His play speaks for itself. He's not afraid to lower his shoulder on the goal line to fight for them extra yards, fight for the end zone. He can throw the ball deep, and he's on this list for a reason.
Now jump to the 8 guy. He was actually my number 6 guy.
My number 8 guy.
Devonta Adams. Devonta Adams, in my opinion, is the best receiver in football. He is the best route runner in football. He scores the most touchdowns in football. I know he was with the MVP and Aaron Rodgers. I get that. I understand 100%. But Devonta Adams is probably the hardest wide receiver in football to guard. I mean, his route running is a whole step forward from anybody else. Devonta, he's a stud. I don't feel the need to talk about him that much because we've seen what he's done. He has good hands. He's made dudes look silly left and right. He's great.
Enough said. Number 9.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Consensus greatest podcast on turf. Number 9. Derrick Henry.
He was actually my number 7.
Oh, he was my number 9.
Just because he's an absolute stud.
Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards in 16 games. OJ did it in 14, but nobody wants to have that conversation for some reason.
Because we should stop talking about OJ Simpson.
Fair enough. But yeah, Derrick Henry, I don't even,
one of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards in the season. He does it every year consistently. He's showed improvements every year he's been in the league.
Tannehill made that.
Ryan Tannehill sucks. Anyways, Derrick Henry, I'm curious to see how his production looks this year with the acquisition of Julio Jones, the best receiver in the NFL. But, yeah, I think Derrick Henry's still a monster. He's still good for 15, 16, 1,700 yards a season. It's not saying much. The offensive line's okay. A little bit slow average, a little bit above average, and he still manages to be top 3 for the rushing title every year. So that should say something right there. And there's not any reason why Derrick Henry shouldn't be in the top 10 after what we've seen from him.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and jump to the number 10 guy. A guy who should not be here, in my professional opinion. He was my number 10 is Travis Kelce. It should be Jalen Ramsey just because of how good Jalen Ramsey is. I get it. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in football. It's not saying much. He's with the best quarterback in football. I know he's also had, about 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons. As a tight end, that's amazing. I get it. Travis Kelce, you're a stud. I give you props, but I don't think you're as much of a game changer as Jalen Ramsey is, completely locking down someone. All props to Travis Kelce. He is a stud, but
yeah,
I'm holding a grudge.
While we're on Jalen Ramsey, who should be number 10, as a corner, when you have the ability to completely eliminate a side of the field for a quarterback, that says a lot. As a cornerback in the NFL, there's a lot of good corners, but there's probably 3 elite cornerbacks that completely eliminate the side of the field where teams don't even look at you. A couple years ago in AFC Chip, Tom Brady wasn't throwing it at Jalen Ramsey. Let's just say something right there.
That's why I personally believe that if you take out quarterbacks, Jalen Ramsey is the most valuable player in the NFL. And if there was like a draft, I would take him first. If you take out
quarterbacks, Jalen Ramsey, yeah. Honestly, I mean, he's not even on the list, and he's our number 10. Jalen Ramsey's our number 10. Kelce was 11.
If Jalen Ramsey was on the list, he would be higher for me. Jalen
Ramsey would probably be 6, yeah, behind Mahomes,
T.J. Watt,
Brady,
Aaron Donald,
T.J. Watt, yeah. Jalen Ramsey's the second best defensive player in the NFL. And like I said, when you have the ability to completely eliminate a side of the field for a quarterback where quarterbacks don't even look to throw the ball that way, that says a lot. Lil Jordan Humphrey, killing it. 5 targets, 3 receptions, 30 yards, and a touchdown.
Should have went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, people in public, I guess they don't know what this means.
I went up to somebody, no idea.
talk about that more on the podcast, our Horns Down experiences. If you want to hear some funny stories, link down below. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, keep showing us love. Be sure to check out our other content from this week. You guys have been really killing it. We appreciate all the love you guys have been giving us. And I think that's it. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Take care.